Guys, welcome to my channel. I am going to be talking about the brand new reformulated Makeup Geek shadows today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the warm palette, 9-pan palette today, and then another day I'll talk about the cool, and I'll kind of just put them into one video. But if you did not know, I'm sure you have because everybody seems to know, Makeup Geek reformulated all of their eyeshadows. I have always been a huge fan of Makeup Geek eyeshadows. I have always had a ton in my collection. I use them personally. I use them in my kit. They are just a favorite. So when she came out with these new shadows, I was all about it. I really wanted to get the large Matrix Systems palettes, which I believe are 28 shadows each, and the way she has them configured in the palettes, you can basically take any light color with any medium color with any dark color with any darkest color out of all of the kind of columns and create a look that's going to come out good every single time. She's got plenty of videos on that on her channel, but I decided to start out with 2 of the 9-pan palettes, which I believe retail for $32.99, and then I used the code TRENDMOOD, which got me 10% off. So this is, they come in this gunmetal packaging right here. I have a couple of these in my kit, and it's actually what I keep my Beautycounter blushes in, so I was already familiar with the palette, but you can see it's highly reflective. It does get fingerprints easily. So basically it's just like any other compact that you're going to be dealing with. It does have a very nice mirror in it that spans the whole entire size of the palette, which I appreciate as well. And this is the warm palette. So the shadows do come separately. So they come in their own cardboard packaging. I've heard a couple of different people complain about how wasteful that is, but here's my opinion on it. It's actually not wasteful because it is recyclable. Very easy to recycle those cardboard packages that these shadows come in. And when you are able to pick and choose the colors that you want in individuals and not go out and buy 500 palettes that you only use a couple of colors in anyways, then it's less wasteful because you're wasting those palettes versus picking what you want. I hope that makes sense. So that's my 2 cents on the wastefulness of it. You really have to package them that way. If she were to have put them in the palette, or they were to have put them in the palette like this and sent them, I guarantee you some of them would have broken. So I am not opposed to how they packaged them. Everything came out perfectly, and I was able to pick and choose how I wanted to arrange them in the palette. Now, these are 9 shadows, and you can see that there is space in between them. From what I understand, that is so that you can take them out easily and, you know, rearrange your palettes as you choose. Whereas if they fit perfectly, you would basically have to take a sharp instrument every time to pull out a shadow. So I appreciate that as well. It does not bother me to have empty space. Some people it does, so take note of that. So again, this is the warm palette. I'm going to go over the shades. I will do the swatches. I have 2 of these shades existing in her old formula. I'll swatch those against each other as well. And then I'll kind of take you through this eye look that I did using this palette. Okay, so here we have Banana Split, Cream Brulee, Honey Badger, Tan Lines, Cheetah Bear, and Chocolate Wasted. In the Spotlight, Flamethrower, and Legend. So today what I did was I went in with Honey Badger with a big fluffy brush. I used the Wayne Gossamer 20 brush, and I really kind of smoked that out and really blew it out as much as I could in my crease. I wanted that to be a very standard transition base color for the rest of the look because I love the undertone of that. And then I took a little bit of a smaller crease brush, the Sonia G Blender Pro, and I took a little bit of the Tan Lines and worked it just a little bit in the outer crease and just a tiny bit in the outer V. This was just to kind of give a little bit of dimension to that area of the eye and set a base for the outer V color, which I used Cheetah Bear. So I just took it on my Essence Smoky Eye Brush and pack that on my outer corner like I do all outer corner colors, just to give it a little bit of dimension. I really love this color. It's one of my favorite colors in her old formula. It's just so good. And then I took my very favorite foil shadow that Makeup Geek has ever done on a flat shader brush. I used the BK Beauty 203 brush, and it's in the spotlight, very beautiful peachy foiled color, and I packed that on my lid. Now, just as with her old formula, I find that with this new formula, these foiled colors go on much better with a finger. So after I put the base layer on with the shader brush, I went in with my pinky and packed a little bit more color onto the lid, and you can see it's just this gorgeous peach, shiny, beautiful color. And for under the eyes, I took the Wayne Goss number 20 pencil brush and took a little bit of the tan lines and just smoked that out underneath the eyes. I did try to use the banana split color in the inner corner. It didn't brighten it up that well. It's a pretty brow bone highlight if you like a matte, but I still prefer something a little bit brighter or shimmerier, is that even a word? More shimmery in the inner corner. So that's my eye look today, using 5 of these shadows. So there's only 4 that I have not used before. I have obviously used creme brulee. I've gone through almost 2 full pans of the creme brulee in her old formula and love it. I do feel like this one looks a tad bit cooler in tone. I may be wrong, but from my remembering, it looks a little bit cooler to more neutral, but it still would work in this palette. I also think it would work with cool tone shadows as well, which is, you know, the appeal of the shadow in general. Obviously, these are in a square pan. A lot of people don't like square pans. I'm not quite sure why. I love them because they hold more product and because you can get all the product in all 4 corners out, whereas it's harder when you hit serious pan on a round to be able to get a uniform amount of color on a brush, if that makes sense at all. I really like the square pans. So the only 2 colors that I have at my disposal right now to compare is, I keep calling that tan lines. That's Tiki Hut. I'm sure I would have put it on the screen. Sorry, it's Tiki Hut. I do have Tiki Hut in the old round pan. This is one of those almost green olive undertone browns, which I absolutely adore. So this is the older formula swatch of Tiki Hut. Don't you like my self-tan where my watch is? I should probably put that back on. So that is the older Tiki Hut, and this is the newer. So on close inspection, the newer looks a little bit darker. That might be because it's fresher. I mean, I've had this one for a while, so it may be a little dried out. But honestly, it's not enough to be like, they're 2 totally different colors. They're extremely similar, and the newer one is smoother in texture when swatching. Another one that I have that I love is from the In the Nude palette. This is one of their 9-pan palettes, pre-made palettes they came out with. I love this palette. I always have, and the In the Spotlight is right here. So let's swatch the old one against the new one. And yes, they are the exact same color. So old in the bottom, new in the top. I mean, looking at it closely, I don't see a single bit of difference. Both of them are gorgeous. So I don't have Creme Brulee or Cocoa Bear anymore because I basically hit so much pan I had to throw them away. Cheetah Bear is Cocoa Bear. She just changed the name because I'm pretty sure Cocoa Bear was after her ex-husband, so I don't blame her for wanting to change that. I do believe Flamethrower was in the original collection, and the Honey Badger, I'm not sure about Chocolate Wasted, but I think Honey Badger, Chocolate Wasted, Legend, and Banana Split are new colors to the line. So that is an overview of the warm palette. The next time I see you in just a second, we will go over the cool palette, and then after all of them, I'll give you my final thoughts. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the cool palettes. You can see right here, this is a cool palette. Of course, I have added the pans in, you know, as I saw fit, which is another great reason for getting them individually at first. But I'm going to go ahead and cut over to the swatches. We have Beach Please, Clean Slate, Latte as Usual, Vanilla Bean, Dark Roasted, Corrupt, Starry Eyed, Grandstand, and Mystical. And now I'm going to take you through real quick the look I did today. So I took Beach Please, which is this top color, and I put it in my crease. Now on the swatches, this looked actually pretty cool toned. It almost turned purple on my arm. However, I don't believe that's how it kind of translates on my eye. I do feel like it's more of like a neutral gray. And then I took this really gorgeous mystical color down here and I put it all in the probably outer half of my lid. I just packed that on with my BK Beauty shader brush. And honestly, I feel like this color packed on the best out of all of the foil ones that I've tried, out of this and the warm palette with a brush. I don't feel like I needed to go back in with my fingers. And then I took this starry-eyed right here, and I did put that on as a base layer in my inner half of the eye and kind of blended it in with the mystical color, and I ended up going in with my pinky after that just to pack it on a little bit more. And then I took that same color and put it in my inner corner and my brow bone. So I just used 3 colors on my upper lid, and I think it's a very pretty put together look. And then I just took a pencil brush with the mystical on the lower lash line, smudge that out. Even though it is more of like a foil metallic color, I don't find that it translates too much of that under the eye, so I feel comfortable using it, smoking out my lower lash line. So I only have a couple of colors that I can find that I think are meant to be the exact same shade, or at least dupes to it. And that is Grandstand. This is the old Grandstand right here, and then the new Grandstand right here. So yep, they are the same thing. They swatch the same, feel the same, look the same. They're the same. And then the Latte, as usual, I don't think it's supposed to be an exact dupe for Latte, but this is, as you can see, one of my very favorite shades. I have hit pan in it. It's an amazing crease shade. It's good to darken up the crease. So that's Latte right there. And then Latte, as usual, is cooler than Latte. So that's Latte as usual. And again, I don't know that they're supposed to be the same thing, and they clearly aren't, but I did want to put those against each other. I do also have Starry Eyed, but it is in my kit, and I am not going to dig it out right now, but I can tell you that using the Starry Eyed, it's exactly the same. I have also used Corrupt in the past, and I can't tell you whether or not they perform the same because I haven't used this Corrupt yet, but a matte black is a matte black. I'm pretty sure they're the exact same. So that is the cool palette. Love it. I do envision myself using this more in my kit than I will on myself, only because I tend to go towards the warm colors the most, and I do feel that clients want a more neutral, cool gray toned. It's crazy, but they do. And they look great in it. So I do feel like I'm going to use this more in my kit. And I will say these 3 colors right here will also be great eyebrow shades, like perfect for that. So it's kind of a 2-in-1 palette. I mean, I think it's pretty much self-explanatory after seeing this video that I do really enjoy Makeup Geek shadows. I more so enjoy the new formula. I do find that they stepped it up a notch. They're smoother, they're easier to blend. I've not had any issues using these eyeshadows. I know that Makeup Geek has been kind of connected to some drama in the past, maybe even present, but I don't keep up with that. If you have a good product at a reasonable price that performs well, I don't care about your drama. I just don't. That's not who I am. So I am totally putting that to the wayside. I can't even keep up with it all. I don't want to. I'm just telling you this is a good product. I'm telling you it's a really good price point. You can buy them single. You can buy them in the pre-made palettes, either the 4 shades or the 9 shade palettes. And from what I hear from her, she will be also coming out with curated eye color palettes, which I think is so cool. And it's also going to have face colors in there as well, blushes, highlights, and bronzers. I just can't wait for those. Even though I'll probably double up on some of the shades, I probably will at least get the one for blue eyes. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, got some ideas on shades. If you've tried the new formula, let me know, and everybody else know what you think down in the comment section below. And check out my description box for links. I will link to these 2 palettes, and you can see all the other fun colors that they have launched as well. So thank y'all so much for watching. Be sure and subscribe before you leave so you don't miss out on any future videos. And I hope y'all all go out and have a very blessed day.